Hey everybody, how you doing?
What's up?
Hey,
All right. Hey, let me just unmute this and
Howdy.
we'll get started. And we're just going to do this and leave the meeting. And we're all set. No more echo. Hey everybody. So hopefully it's streaming and we're live. This is our first live attempt at what we would call the metal detecting nation. So I was talking with a couple people about Metal Detecting Nation, and I got the idea. I have to be honest. I got the idea from my cousin who runs Paramotor, our Paramotor Nation, and he does the same thing. And I thought, you know what? What a great idea if we could get a group of people talking about a hobby that we love. And so talked to Dave, who I detect with, if you didn't know, and you're watching this. And I have a great appreciation for Joe from Okie Surf and Turf Metal Detecting, and a great appreciation for JHH, the Jersey History Hunters. And so, I just want to first make a kind of a little bit of a disclaimer. We are just regular people who don't know everything. We don't want to know everything, but we definitely just want to make this about our hobby. So why don't you guys introduce yourself, and I'll take a little break and clean up a little bit of the screen here. So Jersey History Hunters, why don't you go first?
all right. We're Jersey History Hunters. I'm Audra,
I'm Rachel.
and we're from Central New Jersey. We've been detecting many, many years. We love to save history and have fun.
While doing it.
And always have fun. And one of our favorite things are the people that we meet in the community.
That's awesome. Awesome. Joe, why don't you go ahead, man?
Okay. I'm Joe, and I've been metal detecting for a long time. I've been metal detecting for almost 30 years now. I started when I was a little kid, and got the bug early. Digging overall buttons and bullet casings, and back in Oklahoma, and that's I took quite a break from it, and I came back about 10 years ago, stronger than ever. And I'm a relic hunter. I'm not a coin shooter. I'm not a. I do some. I'm not going to pass up a coin when I get it, but I'd rather dig up the old rusty junk.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I hear you. I understand. Dave, why don't you go ahead, introduce yourself, and then I'll take a shot at it real quick.
Hi, I'm Dave. I'm a retired cop. I met Jordy actually when I was a police officer, not in a bad way. I used to teach DARE, and we were sitting one day talking, and he was explaining to me about his metal detecting passion, and I've always was interested, so I got a machine. Well, actually, I started with one of his machines, and then got one, and that was how many years ago now?
It was maybe
10?
Yeah, at least 10 years ago. At least. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Jordy, I'm a teacher. A lot of you maybe know that, seen my videos. I have a lot of students who actually subscribe to my channel. They kind of bust my chops a little bit at school too, but that's okay. Comes with the territory. I actually like finding silver coins. I'm kind of a coin shooter. I love relics too, but I really just like seeing silver in the hole. And so that's kind of what I really like doing. One of the things about, I guess we can all talk about, which would be a great thing, is the earliest period that you guys detected. I started in the 90s, and my first metal detector was a Fisher F4, I believe it was. And it had its attraction was the price tag at the time. And what's interesting with the Simplex coming out, I could have bought two Simplexes for the price of what I paid for that initial one. And it was interesting, I'll tell you that. But I loved it. I mean, I found
Oh, sorry.
that's all right.
My dog.
A little bigger in the
me.
house.
I found my first wheat penny about maybe a week later, but it took me a year to find my first silver coin, and it ended up being a mercury dime at the ball field that you actually see me now finding unbelievable stuff at. That was the kind of my earliest attempt at metal detecting, and I fell in love with it right away.
Sandy's here, Opportunity Knots, Liz is here, awesome, Deej is here, Mark, everybody.
Oh, that's awesome. Awesome. Hey, thanks so much for joining this chat. Before we get into it, we're going to be here about an hour. If you want to be on the panel, if you want to talk, if you want to be a part of it, please email me at diggingwithdinger51@gmail.com. And then what'll happen is I'll send you a link and you can be part of this tonight or any night. So what about your earliest time, Audra, Rachel?
Oh boy, many, many, many years ago. I started with the whites, and I started on the beach, on the bay, and I actually started finding mercury dimes and standing liberties, and I moved on to land and redo the woods. So that's what I love. I love the old home sites and the relics.
Yeah, I didn't start metal detecting until, I don't know, 6-8 years ago. But I was digging giant craters on the beach looking for Captain Kidd's gold when I was a kid.
And we're still looking.
Looking for arrowheads while hiking the Appalachians, stuff like that.
That's awesome. Awesome. What about you, Joe?
My earliest metal detecting experience, there was a homestead built right around the land rush time back in southern Oklahoma, and I had a Tesoro Sidewinder, and I still have that machine to this day. I didn't really know what I was doing, but I remember, and this is one of my best finds of all, still to this day, as far as tokens go. And that's what, I'm a big token guy. I could dig tokens all day long. And I searched around the cedar tree and popped out this token. It was good for a loaf of bread. It was an Indian Territory token. So it's pre-statehood, and that really got me hooked.
That's
And
awesome.
I also found my first large scent right around that same tree. And so that's probably my earliest detective memory that I can remember.
Dave, you're up, man. Go for it.
Well, actually, before I was detecting, my dad, when I was a kid, had an old whites metal detector, and that thing was huge. It took more D-cell batteries than you could probably carry,
Yeah.
But
yeah.
I was very interested in it, and for a long time, I just, of course, life takes its course. But with Jordy, that's about 10 years ago, I think, is when I really got into it.
That's cool. That's very cool. So now let's switch over. Like, what detectors are you all using now? I use I actually went from the Fisher. I found a ton of clad. I found like hundreds of dollars in clad, and that's what I was really good at, just popping quarters out. I ended up cherry picking for a long time, and I saved enough money to go ahead and get a white MXT. And I got the double D coil, and that is when I first started getting into the community of metal detecting. And our community is a phenomenal community, and that's when I first met Don from Detection Connection, and I see he's on the chat. I went to what we called the Tom Weaver Memorial Hunt, and I found just an unbelievable group of people that it was really just neat to detect with, and I was kind of hooked. And now I've moved over I got an E-Track, and I went to the Equinox 800, and that's what I'm detecting with. Now I just got the Equinox probably about a month ago, and a month and a half, 2 months ago, and I found some pretty cool stuff, and I really like it. Easy machine, real simple. What about you, Audra, Rachel?
Go ahead.
Real quick, I just want to say hi to a young man in our chat that hopefully will one day be a detectorist like us, and his name is Vinny.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah, it's my coworker's son. So I just wanted to give a shout out for him. So
Hey,
hey, Vinny.
Vinny, what's up, Vinny?
Any dude.
So go ahead, you can tell what you swing.
My favorite machine to swing right now is the AT Pro. I enjoy that. With the 5x8 coil, I like the nice small coil. And every once in a while, I'm going to admit this, I still use an old bounty hunter down at the bay where it's really irony. And it finds some good stuff. So I'm not ashamed to admit that.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
awesome.
I use the AT Pro also. It's like an extension of my right arm. We do have a Knox 600, but we really don't use it much. We only use it like if we take somebody detecting with us, I'll let them use my AT Pro and I'll use the Knox.
Yeah.
And we're gonna probably get the Simplex.
Yeah, a lot of people are looking at that. I mean, for under $300,
Yeah.
what a deal. What a
Yeah,
deal.
we're definitely got one.
Yeah. What about you, Joe? What are you using now?
I switched between two machines. I use the Deus and I use the Equinox, just depending on the sites that I'm hunting. You know, I've only been using the Equinox for about a year now, and I'm starting to get the hang of it. I've done pretty well this year with it, but that Deus is kind of extension of my arm. You know, I've been using that pretty religiously for several years now.
Yeah, yeah. Very cool. Very cool. Dave, what are you using? Well, I know
I'm
what
using-
you're using.
Yeah,
but-
well, I'm using the AT Max. And I've been playing around with the all metal mode pretty much lately, unless of course you get somewhere with a bunch of trash, but like that field that we were just at, the all metal mode's the way to go for sure.
Yeah, yeah, very much so. Very much so. So again, let me, for people who are just joining us, if you want to be part of the panel, please just email me at diggingwithdinger51@gmail.com and I can get you a link and get you into the panel if you want to be a part of it. The way that we're actually going to go with this is do it as long as we can. We love talking about our hobby, but eventually we'd like to interview people that are in the hobby, maybe have found some, you know, awesome stuff. Maybe they're the leaders in their industry. Maybe people that are the head honchos at White's or Nokta or Mind Lab or any of the other ones. And I apologize, like Garrett and White's and all of them. But yeah, we just want to do something that promotes our hobby. So that's why we're doing this. So let's see. We have I have emailed in the chat. Hey, Lauren OG, how you doing? We see Sailor Steve. I guess Sailor Steve's in your neck of the woods.
Yeah, he's awesome. He's
Yeah,
an
he
awesome
probably
guy.
lives like 20 minutes from us.
Such a great guy. We met him at Pound the Ground
Really?
and became really good friends with him. He's such a great guy.
That's cool. That's cool. And that's what it's all about. Definitely, that's what it's all about.
Definitely.
So there's one thing that I was thinking that we could talk about, and it has to do with etiquette. And I don't know if you're prepared to maybe share that video with some people, Joe. I don't know if that'll work. If not, we could share some other stuff. But,
Yeah.
you know, all right, good. So Joe and I were talking about this, and Dave and I have run into this, and I'm sure Audra and Rachel have run into this as well as all the other people watching. But some of the things about etiquette, you know, we always know to you know, get permission and do all that kind of stuff. But sometimes when you come upon a site, that site has been trashed. And I haven't gotten it on film, and neither has Dave, but Joe got something on film.
Okay.
So if you want to share with us this video, hopefully it comes out. Let us know in the chat, and definitely give us your opinion on that, and let us know if it's happened to you. But this is pretty interesting. So
Yeah.
go
So
ahead
you
and-
may set it up for you guys.
yeah, absolutely. Senator.
So my buddy Dave and I, you've probably seen him in some of my videos. Dave and I hunt almost every weekend together, and you know, we we hunted earlier this year. We hunted a ghost town, and the ghost town goes back to probably the 1880s. It's public property, and you know, so it's a pretty trashy site. You know, maybe some transient activity. It's kind of ran down, but what we walked into, we weren't quite expecting, and we spent a good chunk of our time there, not metal detecting, but kicking holes in. And so this is an edited version of my clip. I had to edit this down, and I was pretty upset, but I'm gonna try seeing if this thing is working, and I'll get see if I can get that. Bear with me, guys. We are rookies at this thing, and I'm trying to figure out how to get my video. There we go. Okay, can you guys see that?
This is a public area.
Yeah.
Yep.
We're good.
I want to start my video off by showing you guys something really bad. And if I know there's some people here in Western Washington that watch these videos, if this is you, please knock it off. You're going to ruin this for everybody. This is what we walked onto. That's fresh. There may be people out here right now. Look at this. Guard, look at this. Just throwing your trash on the ground after you. Dude, what are you using? Like a bulldozer? Guys, cover your holes. You're going to ruin this hobby for everybody.
Okay, so, oh, am I there?
Yep. You just got to stop sharing and you're good.
Okay, stop share. Okay,
Yep.
I'm back.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I wonder if so Audra, Rachel, have you ever come upon any of that kind of?
Yes.
Yeah, all the time.
Yes, it's a huge pet peeve. It really is annoying because it's true. You know, it could ruin it for everybody.
Yeah, we're
And,
fortunate to live in a county where the park system allows us, but if that were to happen all the time, they would shut us down real quick.
Yeah.
And we have mentioned it in our videos and shown it in our earlier videos.
Not to mention, you know, people could get hurt, animals could get hurt.
Yeah,
on
especially on
top
a trail
of-
like that.
And the hobby could get hurt. It's just not good.
Yeah, I mean we do, and Joe.
Yeah,
Joe, you and JL do so much to try to work your permissions and build a relationship with all the people who you're hunting on their land. And then
oh yeah,
something like this happens and it ruins it for everybody.
Yep.
Everybody who wants to be on land.
yep. Yeah, you bet. And you know, there's 2 cities that I can think of in here in Washington State where it's illegal to hunt on public property.
Gee.
And you know, I was at a park one time, and I was talking to the park ranger or the park maintenance person. I says, "Hey, why is there no metal detecting allowed?" And this guy would explain the size of holes. You know, 2-3 foot diameter holes, beer cans laying on the ground, and so that one person ruined it for everybody. And there's another city, it's quite a bit south of here, that's the same way. That, you know, just a couple of people not covering their holes up, not taking their garbage with them, and now it's ruined for everyone. And yep, it's bad. I mean, even for years and years, you know, I can go to a spot right now in my hometown right here, and I can walk around and stomp plugs in the ground. And you know, I get pretty vocal with people when I see them. When I see them out digging, I'm like, "Hey, I'm gonna stop by and talk to this person swinging the detector," and I make it pretty clear that, hey, I've seen some holes that haven't been pushed down properly. And
Yeah, we do that too. And it's a shame because it's not just new people,
right,
new detectorists. It's
Right.
people that have been doing it for many years and know better, you know?
yeah,
So it's a shame.
Yeah, it's so we see a bunch of people in the chat, you know, obviously, you know, holy crap, this is crazy. Yes, that's horrible.
They're lazy. That's what it is.
I've seen a lot
They
of that in
are.
the
People
chat.
are just they're lazy and they're ruining it for everybody.
Yeah, Mark is lucky. He says he hasn't seen a lot of that in his area. But yeah, it's if we don't do something about it, and I don't want to be like all on my high horse or anything like that, but if the people who are doing it right don't do something about it or speak up, we're not going to be doing this for, you know, a very long
Yeah.
time. You know, our public parks here where I live in Norwalk, Ohio, they are open. They are open for metal detectorists, and I guarantee you that if that took place in my town, people would just go nuts. Nuts. I saw in here that I can't remember who it was, but someone said they've seen it on a beach, and that's kind
Sailor
of
Steve
scary.
said it.
Sailor Steve, yeah.
Yeah, if that happens on a beach and tide comes in, and somebody could, I don't know how seriously they can hurt themselves, but not very good, not very good at all.
With the beach, if they leave their trash laying there, especially, I mean, they something sharp or whatever, they pull it out and then leave it sitting on top. Somebody
Yeah.
can step on it, and it's dangerous.
I
It's
agree.
dangerous.
I agree. All right, hey, a little change of topic here. I just wanted to see what you guys have found this week, or if you've been out. I know that the weather kind of prohibits some of us from getting out, but I found my last find was that 5th Infantry Company A collarback insignia disc that I'm going to be donating to the Firelands Historic Research Museum here, and I already have something in there right now. And I
Nice.
try to give back wherever I can, but that's kind of the coolest thing I found this week. I'm going to go out. Donnie, I might be going out with you. I'm not sure yet still. But what about you guys?
Ladies want to go first? Dave?
Go ahead.
Go ahead. Yeah, I'm good.
Okay. Yeah, I went out last weekend, hit a military camp spot, pre-Civil War. Kind of rare to find in this part of the state. Usually something old here is in the 1890s, but this is a spot that goes back to the 1850s, and yeah, I had a pretty good time. We dug a lot of trash, dug a lot of clad, but we did each score some 58 caliber 3-ringers. So pretty hard to find 3-ringers in the state, but
That's nice.
I'd say that was a success. I don't know if I can figure out how to do it. I can show a quick picture if you want.
Yeah, go ahead. Why don't you share with us, Audra and Rachel, while he gets ready for that picture.
Well, this past weekend it was leading, but the weekend before I got a half real and a largie and some 1800s bottles that I love. And then Rachel got a bucket lister.
Did you?
Yeah, skeleton key.
The key, I
that's
saw
cool.
that. That was
Oh,
cool.
Very cool.
Yeah,
Very,
I
very cool.
did not dig that carefully. I thought it was a shotgun shell, and it just popped up out of the ground like that.
She was complaining the whole time. Let me get this last shotgun shell, number 522 for the day. And
Yeah, that's funny. That is
And then
funny.
a couple other, I don't even remember what the other thing I found next to your largie.
I don't
It
remember.
was something old. And then we went out for a little bit Thanksgiving
button.
morning.
Oh yeah.
Thanksgiving morning, we got bottles. I love 1800 bottles.
And a couple of buttons and 1989 right next to the buttons. Deeper than the buttons.
That's very cool.
Yeah.
Very cool. Dave, what about you? Find anything recently?
No, last time I went was with you in that field. Nothing great. You found that largie though. That was nice.
Yeah. That's right. I did find a large scent. It was my oldest
Yeah.
large scent. I found 1833 large scent. I'll see if I can get a picture of it here after Joe. Joe, why don't you go ahead and share it, and I'll try to find mine.
Okay.
Again, mute. Wow.
Oh, nice.
That's sweet. That is sweet. Man.
Cool.
Yeah,
Very
that is-
cool, dude. You're muted.
You muted, yeah.
Your mic.
Yeah, I'll help him.
Sometimes it's better if I'm muted. I don't on me all the time. But anyway, so no, it's I was surprised how horrible the signal those 3-ringers are.
What'd they ring up as?
It was bouncing all over on the Equinox. It was going from it was going all the way from like a 19 up to a 30.
Wow.
The shallow ones were 22, pretty solid. But I mean it had an iron grunt to it because I hunt with the iron audio on or the
Yeah.
horseshoe, whatever you want to call that. And I was surprised how trashy those signals sounded.
That's something we're
something
still
on it.
looking to find.
Yeah, that's where they were there. Is it sounded like junk, but yeah. So cool.
Very cool.
Yeah. So I don't have a picture of that, but I do have the picture of. Let's see if I could pull it up here. That 5th Infantry that I had found, and I got to give half credit here. You guys see that?
Ooh, yeah.
All right. So I got to give half credit there to Donnie. So Donnie's kind of my like go-to guy. Like, you know, if you're still listening, Don, like if I find something, I'm trying to like, I'm not trying to brag. I'm just excited, you know. If you've seen any of my videos, I get like way too excited. So, but I immediately took a picture of it, sent it over to him, and he helped me. 5th Infantry, but I didn't know it was World War I. But it's an old one. It's a World War I.
Mm-hmm.
Company A. I first thought it was an artillery, but it was Company A. And the one that I did find was an Ohio Company G World War II brass collarback that I have over in the museum. So that's getting ready to go in. So let me stop
Nice.
sharing, and if anybody else wants to share your
That's awesome.
good.
Nice find. Nice find.
Love
Thank
that.
you. Thanks.
Love it.
Yeah. All right.
We don't have her pictures on Rachel's laptop, or we would share, but we'll get some on here for next time.
Yeah.
That's also a spot that's been hammered for years.
Oh,
I mean, Jordy's found some pretty good stuff there. Surprised me that, you know,
surprised me.
just because
Surprised
so many,
you.
well, I know, but I mean, it really has been hammered by people for a long time.
Yeah. So I have
That new
done,
machine
know,
you have.
never know.
great.
yeah, I've done a ton of research on this site, and it used to be a field that the military or the companies used to camp in, and just kind of.
It's a VFW place.
Yeah, yeah, and it's a public place. I don't care if anybody goes to it. You know, I've been to it like for years and haven't found stuff. Like just I don't know. This Knox is doing something strange, but it used to be an old minor league baseball stadium back in the early 40s, and then kind of just came around to be a continued baseball facility for our community. But it has been there forever. So
That's
let's
where Lefty
see.
Grove came from, if anybody
Yeah,
knows who Lefty
exactly.
Grove is.
Yeah. Ambient Girl, yes. If you have a question, make sure it's at Dinger51. I'll try to answer it. It's hard because this is actually our first stream. I hope it's going well. We're not giving away anything. We're just talking about our great hobby. So if you have any questions, do me a favor and just let us know on chat. A little bit of a delay, but we'll get to it for sure.
Just want to say hi to Metal Pirate Girl who stopped in.
Yeah,
Very cool.
I see that. I see Y Gold's Metal Detecting Adventure. Metal Sharks are here. Research Treasure Hunting Emporium. Digging with Deej is here. How you doing, Deej? Deej, if you want to be on, let me know. Metal Pirate Girl, you said. Opportunity Knox, you said. Ket Valley. Darcy, how you doing? I reached out to Darcy when he's free to be part of this. I'd like him to represent the old Canada so that we are of the world, not just our nation. So anybody that wants to be a part of it, please let me know. I got to give a shout out to my daughter too. She's been texting me. She's nuts. So hey, Gabby. She actually detects with me too. She's on a couple of videos, and she actually found a large scent.
That field, yeah.
Yeah, we were with Dave. This is 3 years ago. She found a large scent. So let's see.
Very cool.
Yeah.
I found some iron that day. She found a hard scent. She did great.
So we got a funny story. We'd love to do the research to find the old home sites.
Yeah.
Right. So Rachel got this permission on a direct route from the Revolutionary War from Monmouth Battlefield, the British retreat route. And we went there in search of Revolutionary War things, and we found Civil War things.
Whoa.
And the homeowner told us there was a home site in the woods behind his house. And that's where we found the Spanish Real, 1826 Largie, and the skeleton key. So
Is that the
Nice.
retired cop?
The funny story is we still haven't found where the house was at, because
we're still looking for the home site.
he told us, he said, go up behind the house, follow some trees, there's some grass, go through here. We just heard go up behind the house.
All I heard was home site, and then it was like, wah, 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 wah. I didn't hear anything
Because
else.
we're in the area we're in, they used peanut stone for foundations. They used to mine it here. And they reuse.
So they took it all out, and
Yeah.
so there wasn't a lot to go on. Now, we did find the old horse carriage trail, but not the home site yet. But I think we're getting closer because we got the key.
Yeah.
We're getting there. It's
That's very
crazy.
cool. Very cool.
It's awesome.
I was listening to a podcast on the all metal mode, and they were talking about recently that when you look on some of the maps, as you were saying, you couldn't find the house, that some of the map makers back in the 1850s, 60s, 70s, they actually, well, at least that was suggested, that they actually weren't actually exactly honest about some of the places that these homes or structures were to be, and that they wanted to do their job quickly, or they heard a rumor that someone was going to build in this one spot, and that's what ended up on the map. But we're still trying to find. Dave and I couldn't find a couple structures that we have mapped. It was an 1873 map that we were at that field about a week and a half ago. We couldn't find the house, but one of them we could find. It's Button Field. You could find buttons forever, old nails, and a lot of iron. Absolutely, a lot of iron.
Old pottery and stuff.
Yeah, it's a pretty cool site. So open invitation. Any of you guys want to come out?
We'll go.
More than welcome to be out. Yeah.
You don't have to ask us twice. We'd love to go meet up with people and hunt. It's awesome.
Yeah.
You guys name your sites. Like we have some sites we call Button Woods, and then we got Spoon Woods, and we got Bottle Woods.
I personally haven't. What about you, Joe?
Yeah, Jeremy, I saw Jeremy JL Digger on there. We, that's the only time I get to hunt the awesome relics that you guys have access to. And we name our fields, we have Largie Field, and we have the cabin site, and we have the windmill site, and we have the knoll. And so, yeah, we do name all our sites.
That's cool.
Yeah.
See, it's not just us. That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Go ahead.
We don't want to say what we name our landmarks.
Oh yeah, we can't go there.
I can imagine some of what they are. So Deej is saying that she was, I'm paraphrasing here, she was out with Donnie and they were looking for a site. Correct me if I'm wrong, they couldn't find the home. And I know that Deej has been over in this area, probably right down the street from me here. Donnie and Deej hunt together a little bit in this area, in the Firelands area. And hopefully I'll get a chance to hunt with them soon. So, yeah. Let's see.
Well, she's right. Home sites aren't always on a hill.
No, they're not always on the hill.
I
That's
deliver
true.
mail in the highest point on the eastern seaboard between Maine and Florida. And some of these homes are completely down the side of a mountain on the bottom.
Yeah.
Wow.
You never know.
So what's your weather like in New Jersey right now?
Today's cold.
It's cold. It just snowed. We got like,
A dusting.
well, where you live, Rachel lives a little bit away, and she got a dusting, and I got like 3 inches, 4 inches. Not on the streets though.
All right. So ambient Nancy, come on, really? She said she got on the chat 22 inches in 36 hours.
Jeez.
That is
That's a lot of snow.
That's a
That's
lot.
too
That
much.
puts you out.
She must be into the Dakotas or Minnesota.
Yeah, that puts you out for a long time. A long time. Right now, hey, I hate to make everyone jealous, but it's going to be 40 and 50 degrees this Saturday and Sunday here where I live.
Yeah, well, this weekend's gonna be nice. Saturday's gonna be in the 30s, but Sunday's gonna be almost 50, and Sunday's our digging day. So we're happy.
That's
Yeah.
cool. So I know that, so I have a channel and Joe has a channel, and we're not, obviously, if you want to go to our channels, great. But what's your process of Audra, Rachel, of like making a video and how fast you get it out? Because I can kind of whip them together pretty quick. They're not high quality, but it gets the message out. How long does it take you to get your videos out?
They're pretty quick, depending, if we get the wrap up that day. Sometimes we wait, sometimes we just put pictures. But I usually do the videos. That takes sometimes a few hours because I like to make a good thumbnail and do some editing. But if I'm in a hurry, it's pretty quick.
Yeah.
So maybe right now we're ahead. We have like 3 videos ready to go
We try to stay a couple ahead, just especially wintertime.
because you never know.
Yeah, because you may not be able to get out and record anything, or like if it's really bad, we'll go to historic homes and stuff like that.
We'll do tour videos.
Yeah, or thrift shops and stuff. But if you can't get out at all, who wants to just watch a video of us sitting here on a couch?
That's a great idea. That's a great idea. I've always
Yeah.
wanted to shoot a video on this museum.
People really like it.
Yeah.
It
So it is
actually,
good.
our museum here is the oldest Ohio museum, history museum, like preservation of old stuff. It's been, I don't know the date. You could look it up, Firelands Museum, but it's pretty old. And I've walked through it several times. But
You should
it's
film it.
interesting.
We would watch.
Yeah, I'll definitely film it. But do you guys do this too when you go to maybe an old museum, or you look at some of the things that are out there that you could find? Do you guys still have your white whale, your bucket lister? What are all your bucket list coins or items, I should say?
Right.
Mine was a bayonet.
Wow.
Was or is?
Well, I found one from like the Korean War, and I'd still like to find an older one, but I got that. The skeleton key I got, thimbles I haven't gotten a silver crotal bell, so that's still on my list. That'd be nice.
I'd like to just find a crotal bell in one piece.
me too.
Amen to that. That's the very top of my list is a crotal bell.
Yeah, honestly,
I love
the skeleton tea was my bucket lister, so now I have to think of something new that I haven't found that I wanted to find.
Yeah, that's cool. I guess mine would be a real. Any of them, any bit of a real. I haven't found any. I don't know if I'm on old enough sites to find something like that. Obviously, the video with Don when he found his 8 real, it was in perfect shape. It was full.
Yeah, that was insane.
It was unbelievable. It was just crazy, really crazy. So that's my bucket lister. I'd like to find a real.
Nice.
Dave,
A trime. I'd like to find a trime.
Yeah, I've not found a trime yet.
We got one,
Oh yeah, that's cool.
just one, and it's not in great shape. But
Yes. So some of the people in chat, Kep Valley, Darcy says a skeleton. Now he says this, it's a skeleton is on my list. I'm hoping he's referring to a skeleton key.
open.
Yeah, we're always afraid we're going to find a skeleton.
Yeah.
You never
actually-
know.
I found a dog skeleton one time.
Oh,
Collar around its neck with the
Oh no.
oh no!
It
I
was
always
in
worry.
my neighbor's
worried.
yard next
Oh,
door.
you didn't see it. I'm the one. I told you. I found a dog skeleton too.
Oh man, that's
I don't want to
terrible.
see it.
No. So
That's sad.
digging with Deej, she said that she never knew there were silver crotal bells, and I have to be honest, I've never known that either.
Yeah, I've never found one, but I've seen them, and I would love to find one.
Yeah. Yeah, very cool. And Cat Valley makes a good point. He says, don't go crazy with video editing. Some people get too crazy and it gets too disturbed. And just show the content. It pretty much sells
Yeah, we
itself.
don't do like a lot of special effects or anything like that. It's just, there's two of us. So I gotta kind of do a little bit just to make it
Seamless.
seamless.
Yeah.
Rachel,
And try to keep them in order.
try and keep them in order and no fancy editing, just
Because every now and then we'll find something at the same time. But if you're not careful, I'll say, oh, look, I found a quarter. Audra's over there, and she just pulled out a chrono bell. And then
that
at the end
can't
of the
go ahead
video,
of that. So
10 minutes later, you're like, Audra's like, oh, I just found a chrono bell. So we try to make, got to try to make sure that they're in order too.
so I'll text Rachel, when did we find this?
So
When we used to do it from our phones, I would send my videos and number them.
Oh yeah. So it's chronologically in order. That's a good
Yeah.
idea. Real good.
Now we have GoPros, so I just keep them both until I'm finished, and then I give it back.
Donnie says that he found a bird from Detective Connection. He found a bird in a lunchbox.
That's what I was just laughing about.
Oh,
Not good. Not good.
It's different.
Oh, wait a minute. Dug an entire cow skeleton. This is Darcy from
oh
Cat
my
Valley.
God.
When I was 14 years old. So it's not on the list anymore. Oh my goodness. I'm glad that everybody's participating in it. It's fun. This is what it's about, and if you, again, want to be on the panel and showing your mug, then go ahead and email me and you can do that. We're gonna look at, like I said before, interviewing, asking some people to be on, and this is a little different than a podcast, obviously. I mean, you're gonna have to be willing to, want to kind of communicate face to face with people. I think it's cool. I think just having a conversation is awesome. I'm really appreciative of all 4 of you who have, agreed to come on and be on. I think that's great. And it's going to be a really good channel, I think. A good
Absolutely.
segment. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anybody, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I was just saying that's fun. It's awesome.
Yeah, it's awesome to be here.
That's good. And Metal Pirate Girl says, this is a great stream. Love this. And I'm glad because everybody's got their streams and a lot of people do things like Audra and Rachel, you guys had, a live stream and you said it was just a blast. And I've never done one by myself. I know that Joe, you've been on several podcasts. Right?
Yep. I've been on some podcasts and I was on one live stream. Jeremy and I were together, 3 years ago. Yep. And this is going a lot better because the screen's not all locking up and the audio is really bad. And yeah, this seems to be a lot better.
Right.
Yep.
Right. Well, I guess we have about 15 minutes left. If we don't have anything else to discuss, we can end early. We don't need to go to a certain time limit. It's just an opportunity for us 4 to discuss, or us 5. I keep looking at the 4 screens.
I know. You can count us as one. It's okay.
Right, okay. So
We are
us-
Jersey history hunters.
That's right. So all of us to talk and then kind of interact with people in the chat. And so if there's nothing else, anything going
So
on?
Jordy, I do have something. I'm trying to load it so I can screen share. I actually have an email of a button that was found and they wondered if somebody can ID the button. But I'm trying to get it over right now and I'm having some technical difficulties
All
getting
right. So I guess I could share a button I found this past weekend. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't want to
Share it.
hog anything, but it is probably, and it's I put a transparent background on it, so it looks kind of strange, but it is it's pretty cool, and it has a shank. but it is, found it very small. It's the size of my thumbnail. And I don't know if you guys can see that.
That's cool.
Yeah.
It's got a lot of fancy on it. It's in really good shape. It's like I said, really tiny. But I've never found one that was like this. And we found it at that last site that we were at in that field. But I would say it's,
It's
so
old.
yeah, it's got to be old. All that stuff's early late 1800s stuff. Yeah, I just thought I'd share with you guys, and hopefully Joe's got something going, right, Joe?
I'm trying to work on it. I'm working on it. Hey, I'm a rookie at this thing, man.
No, we're all rookies at this thing.
That's a cool button.
That is. Yeah, I'm working on. I'm gonna minimize here, and I'm gonna dig into this thing.
All right, and let's see. Maybe some of you just wasting time here now. Maybe some of you have seen this. I found this about 2 weeks ago, and
Oh, love
yeah,
that.
It's silver. I don't think it's plated. I'm not real sure about that. But
That's Catholic.
yeah, the detail on it is pretty good. And I found it again at that ball field. So
That's cool.
yeah, we'll stop sharing that one. And here's a question
Doesn't that
for
look like
everybody.
you're, there for a second?
What did you say, Audra?
I thought no, it's something on our screen over here, but that was very cool.
Yeah. So if you guys had your choice of where you would want to detect, if you had like the option to go anywhere and get any permission, have you ever considered like where you would want to go? Like what?
Yep.
What
Garrett
I
Hill.
do. Definitely.
Off limits.
Go ahead, Dave. Go ahead. Dave.
Gettysburg. I would love to. Oh man, I was there a few years ago, and just so much ground, so much history, so much awesome.
Yeah,
So,
that'd be
I mean,
nice. I'd
it's-
go there.
I wonder if at those grounds they've taken people there without letting anyone know to find certain things. I mean, it'd be kind of
Wow.
crazy to see what was found there. So, I don't
Well,
know.
Rachel and I are in this archaeology group, and they're kind of affiliated with Monmouth Battlefield. So we get to dig there once in a while,
Yeah, but
but nobody else can. So you never know who's affiliated.
Yeah.
You never know what happens.
Yeah.
but there's
No,
a spot
go
on the
ahead.
naval base near us called Garrett's Hill, and there was a battle there, but it's on the naval base.
Yeah,
So we
we'd
can't-
like to get in there.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Now, Joe, you've hunted. Were you a couple of years back? You were at a naval base, right?
Oh yeah,
I remember those videos.
yeah. That was a very, very hunted, heavily hunted site. I mean, that place has been pounded since metal detectors were invented, and it's tough digging. It's
Yeah.
but as Army Fort, we do pretty well at the Army Fort still. That's
Now,
still kicking.
so JL says, he wants me to ask you a question.
Oh boy.
Here we go. Have you ever hunted with anyone that's just walked onto a field in the middle of a field of nowhere and started digging coins? So you gotta tell us the story.
Okay, so I accused Jeremy of having a hot equinox. His equinox is just hot or something, right? It's just, and that's kind of, so no, he has like radar or something. We had this permission. It's a big knoll site. There's a knoll at the back of this cornfield, and it's just beautiful. It's right across the street from Largy Field, where we found tons of large scents, and we found a lot of stuff in that area. Well, we've been trying to get the farmer to give us permission. We finally got it this year, and man, it's like we get there, we get the permission, we go up. He just walks randomly in the middle of the spot and finds a barber dime laying on top of the cornfield.
Oh,
I'm
that's
like, dang, that didn't take very long. And then we get done hunting that knoll, and we both remember from an old map that there used to be another home site sitting down on the road. And we're swinging and not really finding anything. And he goes, hey, I think there used to be a school over here. And this is just the middle of this cornfield, and we're not really getting anything. He's like, hey, I got an Indian. Hey, I got another Indian. And then we went to the next site, and he walks straight over and he digs a cut copper, and then he digs a half real. And it's just like
Wow.
it's like radar. I mean, he just walks right to it. It's
Wow.
craziest dang thing. So yeah, thanks, Jeremy, for rubbing that in my face. You know, Jeremy video clips every once in a while of him with the croto bell, and he just ringing the croto bell in the video. That's how bad I want one.
He's busting your chops a little bit.
He is. He is.
So Kep Valley says Dan Aykroyd's 1800s family farm near where he
That'd be
lives
cool.
is
Oh,
where he would
man.
like to go.
Oh yeah.
Fort Knox has been mentioned a couple times. Egypt, Cuba, China.
The White House.
The White House, yeah. Mark says the White House. Yeah, that
Europe.
would be crazy.
I'd like Europe would be nice.
That would be North Korea. Opportunity Knox. So yeah, there's a lot. Kep Valley says the 1790s property on my street. You gotta
Anywhere in
work your
1790s.
magic.
man.
Yeah, anywhere in the 1790s. I'd be like, yes.
And Donnie says across from Fort Knox. I remember hunting with Donnie. I took him to a church. Or no, we went to a mill. We got on the mill site, and Donnie was like, we gotta go across the street. And I'm like, he goes, that's where all the good stuff is, across the street. And so I guess there's something to it, because Donnie is amazing at finding stuff.
Yeah.
Amazing. All right, we got
Very
about
cool.
7 minutes left. You find that, Joe?
I got it.
All
So
right,
I'm gonna set this one up too. So this was found at an old where an old cabin site used to be. It was a cabin for they actually blasted out a cave from the solid rock, and they stored ice in there, and they sold ice to people traveling through the area. So there's an old cabin there. It goes back to the 1870s, 1880s. Neither Dave, this comes from Dave, or I can figure out, and he's even bought Albert's book of buttons, and nothing in there. We think it's military, and but I'll go ahead and see if I can share this with you guys and see if what you guys think. So it is a cast button. On the back it does say Birmingham.
Whoa.
And that's Birmingham, England. But yeah, he asked me if I could share that with everybody and see if anybody had an idea of what that button may be. But
I'll tell you, Donnie, hopefully Donnie's still on the part of the stream here. And he knows a lot about some of that old stuff. And
Google.
did you say that you thought you knew what it was? You knew what it was.
we
made
think
of?
it's military. We're on the fist with the horn. There's some little pieces that we found doing some research that kind of leads us to believe this could be a military button. When I first saw it, when he first dug it up, I was thinking it was going to be like a hunter's jacket or a sportsman's jacket kind of button. But now we're not for sure. I mean, it would be interesting to see what someone else. He even said that he's thinking about posting this on American Digger magazine,
Oh, wow.
just to see if anybody can figure that out.
Yeah.
Did he post it on ID Me?
I think his wife posted it on ID Me, but I don't know if
Okay.
he's got anything back.
Because you should be able to find something with says ever ready and it's got a horn.
Yeah, I don't know. It's a cool button though, nonetheless.
It's cool. Very cool.
I don't know if you guys want me to leave it on or get off the share now, but yeah, if anybody knows, I guess email Jordy or let us know in the chat. I'll go back to the chat after this thing's over and share it
It
with
looks
Dave.
like Don is saying Deej question mark. I don't know if that's in reference to she may be really good at IDing buttons or not.
She has a button book.
Oh, that's what
She
it
has a
is.
good button book.
Is it Albert's Book of Buttons?
I'm not sure.
I don't know.
Yeah, that's a.
Where is she?
Let's see. I actually have an updated fast chat.
Oh, Finding Goodies is here. Dudes.
Hey, how you doing?
Yay.
Wow, awesome. Yeah, we got about four minutes left.
Yeah.
So I guess if there's any questions, we are about at a 20-second delay. I can pull up a faster stream here without seeing you, but I do see. Let's see. So Donnie thinks it's maybe a foreign military button.
Yeah, I saw that. That's cool.
Yeah. So Deej says not sure of the name. I think it says Ever Ready.
Yeah, and if you look up Eveready, of course, it gets batteries. And there's something else. Something else is really strange that pops up.
No, we don't want to go in there.
Yeah.
Well, all right. Well, listen, I guess I'm going to wrap it up here. And first, I want to thank all of you for coming on and being a part of this. I think it's gone very, very easy, smooth, fun to talk to you guys. I really appreciate you all coming on, and hope you can continue being on.
Yeah, I think we make a good team.
We really appreciate being here with you guys.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to getting to know you guys, and
It's
it's good
great
to see
to meet
some
you.
of the people on the chat I haven't seen in a long time either.
Yeah,
You guys are always welcome to come join us digging here in New Jersey.
Oh yeah. Yep, definitely.
We'll have a
take you
group
up on
get
I'm
that.
gonna take you
together.
up on that.
Yeah. And
We have some
actually,
good
Joe,
places.
Joe, you're in Washington, state of Washington, right?
Yeah, we can hunt year round, but you just got to bring your rain jacket.
Yeah. We're fine with
Andy,
that.
Nancy, thank you for moderating the chat. I appreciate it. I also am thankful, grateful that everyone joined. I think Joe and I said if 5 people came to the chat and watched this, we really didn't care because we just wanted to have a conversation. Again, I'll say it: we are not know-it-alls. We just want to promote our hobby, just to have fun.
This is what YouTube used to be to me. I mean, when I started making videos, I laid off videos because when I started making, the awesome thing about YouTube, it was a community. Nobody was promoting products or trying to get rich and famous. It was about the community of a bunch of metal detectorists, sharing their finds and having a good time.
Yeah,
that's right.
That's why I'm liking this.
All right.
That's right.
Well, if you want to join the after party, we're going to stop the stream here and email me. I'll send you a link, and you can be a part of the after party. We're going to just kind of, chat up a little bit after and talk about some ideas. But we would really appreciate it. So without further ado, thank you. Have a great week of hunting.
Thanks,
And,
everybody.
I'm going to stop the
Thank
stream.
you, guys.
Great to meet you.
You guys rock.
All right.